I wanted to show you guys a new automation today, and today we're going to discuss how we can automate some of the emails that we are getting, whether you have a business, you have maybe a busy personal email inbox. So we're going to showcase some of the possible automations, how we can generate emails, and I'll talk through a few examples how you can guys achieve better results. Today's video we're going to showcase just how to build some drafts based on the forms that we receive, but you can iterate and play with it in few various ways. So obviously this, as usual, we're using meg.com. It's a no-code automation tool, and we're going to start with, so the first goal in here is to watch Gmail emails. But what I wanted to guys to show you first and foremost is you can do a few ways, because you can monitor the whole email inbox. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you in my inbox. So I've got my MP Cybersecurity Services email inbox, and I've just created a label, which is pretty simple. You can just create any label you want. So what we're doing is we're going to find an email which is I've got a website, and my website is stored on Squarespace. So this is, for example, an email that I get as a form submission in my Squarespace website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select an email and just going to say filter messages like these. So basically we just want to get all of the form submission emails from Squarespace. We can change if we want it to any specific attachments, or we want to have the inclusion of specific words if we want, but we're just going to create one filter like that. So what we're going to do is just going to say create filter, and what we're going to do is we want it to skip the inbox. We want to apply the label and basically apply the filter to the 7 matching conversations. So basically all of these 7 needs to move into our essentially website form space. So as you can see, in a second all of these emails disappeared and they all moved here. So that's the first setup. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to make, and what we're going to do is we're going to set up. So all you need to do is just go here, guys. As you can see, I've just connected. So you need to connect your Google email account with your email, which you can just do and add another connection, and you need to sign into the Google, which is pretty simple. So I've just set up, basically we're monitoring. You can select any specific folder in here. So we're monitoring currently all mail, and then what we're going to do is we can create any specific simple filters. You can do Gmail, but we're going to do Gmail filter, and the filter essentially is we're going to put label, and then we're just going to create website forms. So that's our label. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to watch all of the emails that come in that have a label called website forms, and then mark email messages as read when fetched. No, we don't want that. And then we can just obviously select any more than one examples. We're going to start with 1. So that's the first step. And then we can select when we want to start doing it. So let's say from now on. And then the next step is, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a ChatGPT step into the next point. Again, I've just got the connection, but all you guys can do is, again, you can do your add connection. So you need to go to OpenAI and open essentially API connection, and then create a new API. So then you can just select a method. We're doing a completion. You can select a model. So we're obviously using 4.0 system. Tokens, we're going to add 0, and then we're going to add a message. So first message, I always start with the system. So we want to define who ChatGPT is. So let's say you are an intelligent email assistant working for MP Cybersecurity. So that's the first message. And then we're going to add a user prompt, which basically is going to be So what we need to do is we need to get, for example, from here we're gonna get we're gonna say based on the message received, and then we're gonna plug in text content from the email, craft personable response to the sender, thanking them for interest in MP cybersecurity company. And then we're gonna say, usually I like to steer here in the way of, because during initial reach out from the customer, the easiest way to get to understand what your customers want is, and offer them a no obligation call to discuss how we could help the customer solve their problem and get to the bottom of the issue they are having. The email should be crafted based on the knowledge of the services and the knowledge about what MP cybersecurity does. So basically what we're trying to do is we're just going to craft a message or an email with a basically quite personal response. And then there's a few things we can do, because I'm just obviously creating one specific response based on that specific filter. But what you can do is as well, and I've seen you can, for example, we could build another connection to Google Sheets and then create specific prompts with basically asking, instead of crafting straight away a response, we can say review all the emails incoming and then categorize the emails. So basically, say for example, maybe you have emails that coming in that are specific categories. So say you go customer complaints, request for information, and then you can build a separate prompts for that. And then basically after you categorize, you select a prompt, which you can hold these prompts in your Google Sheets, and then send those prompts to another ChatGPT, which will draft a specific email based on the category. And then I'll show you basically what we're doing in here and how we can basically make it more feasible. So based on the message received, craft a personable response to the sender, thanking them for interest in MP cybersecurity company, and offer them a no obligation call to discuss how we could help the customer solve their problem and get to the bottom of the issue they are having. Email should be created based on the knowledge of the services, let's just tailor that a bit, based on the services that MP cybersecurity provide. Please pay attention. So what I'm going to show you as well, guys. So as you can see, subject inquiring about. So on my website, there is a selection. You can select what you want to inquire about services, project delivery, product review, or collaboration. So what we're going to do is we're going to add here as well. So say, pay attention to the column which says inquiring about. As there are 4 options and each message should be tailored whether a customer is inquiring about services. We've got services, project delivery, product review, or collaboration. Please include the link to book a call. Make sure that the link does not change. And then we're going to add the link in here. So for example, this is my calendar to book a consultation call. And then we can just plug that in here, paste. Looks like it didn't paste as plain text. There you go. And then we're going to put OK. Now I'm going to share you a few little other tips with you guys as well. So we want this automation to be as human as possible. So instead of replying within a second, which is highly unrealistic, isn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to add a tool which allows us to delay execution. So we're going to do a sleep, and then we're going to do here, let's say 300 seconds. So we're going to sleep 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes basically. We're going to put in a delay, and then we're going to add another module, which essentially is Gmail create a draft. So what we're doing, we're adding an email in drafts. We're going to put an email address from here. So reply to email address, that's the email address. Subject, we gonna use a subject from here. And then content, we want to use the result from here. And that's our automation basically, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically get all our form submissions on the website. And then we're going to, as I said, we're going to put them in a website forms label in our email. And then based on this, we're going to monitor that emails coming on. And then essentially what we're going to do is we're going to use that prompt as a system being intelligent email assistant. We're going to create, based on the text content, craft a personable response and also attach an obligation calendar invite for them to book a call. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to delay that by 5 minutes, and then also going to create a draft. Actually, we could remove this, but I just wanted to show you guys. Now, what I'm doing is, obviously, we are just creating a draft. So the goal is for me, we're gonna iteratively make this automation better. So we're going to test it and see how the drafts look like, how they perform, and then once we are comfortable with it, we can change this last one piece. Instead of creating a draft, automatically replying. So that's why I added this sleep here, because currently obviously we're just creating a draft, so that automation in terms of sleep is not necessarily needed. But once we're happy that we are getting consistently good creation of the emails, then we can automate an automatic response. And then you can do a few things. As I said, you can change and replicate to specific different labels, how we're going to respond to it, what else can we do. But yeah, so basically let's give it for a run. So what we're going to do is, there we go, we just make a run. So we need to obviously choose where to start. So what we're going to do is, gonna say choose where to start. So we're gonna say start from now on. So what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna create one of these little forms quickly. So say we're gonna just put in this. We don't need that. What's required? Subject. More information. I would like to find out more about your services. And then we're going to click services. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say, let's run this automation. And we need to keep updating, choose where to start. So let's do from now on, and then submit this form. And then let's do this. So there we go. Now we got one email. As you can see, this is creating a chat completion. It's gonna sleep now. So let me just pause and I'll come back in a second once the sleep is done. Okay, welcome back guys. So the automation finished. I just want to show you a few things. Obviously I had to change this field because it wasn't reading the automation field from here, because the way email address is concatenated, it just doesn't work. So I just added this, but you can obviously also replace this when you review the draft. So automation finished, email is there. So let me just go and show you guys. Go to drafts. So there you go. The email is drafted here. So as I said, it's drafted currently to John Doe, and it just drafted an email. So we got a subject. So let me actually remove this subject. So there's the email. So all you need to do is, again, those who are familiar, and then we can obviously play around and create specific drafts, and those who know how to format HTML, I'm going to show this in the next series how we can make it better. But this is just the beginning. So let me just make a few changes and then just showcase what the emails look like. So as you can see, I think it drafted pretty decent email. So first of all, it says, thank you for reaching out to MP Cybersecurity Services. We truly appreciate your inquiry and would be delighted to provide you with more information. At MP Security Services, we specialize in a wide range of services designed to enhance security posture of your organization. So we can say, let's do this. We can just do stuff like that, just to make it more pretty. But the key goal is here, as you guys can see, this saves so much time because everything is already prepped for us and it's pretty much ready to go. And the goal is, to play around with this and think how we can save so much more time. So you can see they added the scheduled call as well, and it says here on this call, we can go over, for example, particular challenges you are facing, how our services can address your specific needs, any questions or concerns, and then, thank you for considering MB cybersecurity services. Let me just put the last one in the next line as well. And then obviously you go best regards. You can put that, but I already got a signature, so you don't necessarily need that. So there you go. That's the structure. There's the email. You got to say schedule a call. All you need to do is just change the email address to who are you replying to. But we're going to showcase and build on this automation, how we can improve and make it better, guys. But there you go. It's just a few clicks, few, changes, change the email address, and there you go. And we can send it over to people who, because the key for me was here as well. You have to remember as well, it's a playing game between these automations, because yes, I could send this schedule call, but at the same time, there are forms, people who submit forms or other companies who try and sell you things. So not necessarily you want to just give that to everyone else. It's a good buffer to review and think about who you want to respond to. But as I say, we can iterate and build this better. So when we're comfortable, we can get to the point where we can automatically send this replies. We just obviously need to improve our HTML, formatting skills to get this consistent format. And I'll show you this, guys, in the future videos. But let me just show you a few more other things on make.com that's important. So as I say, delay is an important tool. Also, you have to remember, guys, so this currently fetches maximum of number of records is 1. But the key point here is once we run it and schedule it live, this trigger does not run on demand. It runs on a specified time. So as you can see here, you can run at regular intervals, once every day, once every month. But obviously, I think, since we're monitoring our inbox, we wanted to run a specific schedule. So I think 15 minutes is okay. You have to be mindful as well that on make.com, when you set up originally the account, you get 1,000 automations per month for free, but you can only run 2 automation scenarios. So if you think about, you're running every 15 minutes, so that means it's 4 an hour, 4 times 24, which is 96. So you're going to be running 96 operations in a day. So basically within 10 days your 1,000 automations will expire. So if you're running on a free account, you have to adjust this. Or what you can do is, there's a few ways to play about it, I guess, with it. You can either purchase a plan, which obviously you get 10,000 operations per, I think, $10 a month. Or what you can do is change this interval, say, to run, say, for example, every 60 minutes or every 120 minutes. But then what you need to do is you need to make sure that then you change this parameter into, say, doing this for 3, 4, or 5 emails, or however much you want. But, it's up to you how you guys want to do it. So there you go. That's a simple automation to start you automating your email responses, and then we can take it and iterate and improve this. But this is the beginning, and then we can play various plugins in here. We can split it out, and you can create a draft. You can, if you want, you can save responses or drafts into Google Sheets or Google Documents. There's a number of ways how you can do it. Another key point is make sure you always so we're gonna do is, I'm gonna change that for me, so I'm gonna save it, run it once every hour. We're gonna pick up to 2 emails. I'm gonna save here. We're gonna save this. I'm gonna change the name, so you can change the name as well here. So we're gonna call this email. So let's just delete this, and then we're gonna call this scenario email automation engine. There you go. That's our automation. Also, guys, just to add the shameless plug, so our company Automate IQ is helping businesses to create these type of scenarios. I'm going to post this video on our website as well, but just go and have a look at automateiq.co.uk, where we're going to be posting some of the examples or some of the video examples that we've done. But at some point as well, guys, if you don't want to build some of these yourselves, we're going to be starting and exporting some of these templates in our website, so you can just plug in the template, make the connections, and it's ready to go in there for you guys. So please have a look, explore. Hopefully you guys start your journey into automation and improving your business efficiency.